You know, good optics are a must for a hunter, particularly binoculars, not only during hunting season, but times like this when it's time to start scouting. But there's one thing you need to do when you get your binoculars that a lot of people don't realize. You need to set them up for yourself. Everybody's eyes are a little bit different. And here's how I do it. It's simple and easy. Just take the binoculars and just kind of grab good focus on an object. And I go and put my hand over the left lens. The diopter ring, which is on the right side, I will go ahead and adjust that until that right eye is in focus. Once it is, I take the hand off the other side, both eyes in focus, and you're ready to go. It's simple and easy, and it's a must that you do this before you go out and use them. Let's talk a little bit about Alpine and Bresser optics. Now they have a full line of optics, but what I want to talk to you now about is rangefinders. They have several different varieties of handheld rangefinders and the new bow rangefinder. Now for you bow hunters, you go ahead and sight in at 20 yards and you calibrate it to your 20-yard pin, and when you're at full draw, whatever you're pointing that 20-yard pin on an object, it'll tell you the yardage. So whether you like a handheld or you want to put one on your bow, we have both options for you here at Alpine and Bresser Optics. You know, good optics are a must for a hunter. The new Alpine Tetons. They're lighter, they're better in low light, excellent glass. You'll be hard pressed to find that glass for under $1,000, and guess what? $500 right here. Everything that you would want in a pair of optics. I know what I'm looking for, and once I know what I'm looking for and find what it is, that's what I'm interested in buying. The bottom line is they're affordable, they're lighter, and they're great in low light. The new Alpine Tetons. Another deer coming out. Well, I'm out doing a little bit of late evening scouting, just looking for deer and waiting for them to come out into the field. But I've got a new pair of Alpine Teton binoculars. You know, a lot of times people will ask me, what binoculars are best in low light situations? Well, that's simple. The answer is the Alpine Teton binoculars. And the reason for that is they have the Abbey Koenig prism, which simply means it allows 94% of available light to get through these binoculars, making them an excellent pair of binoculars in low light. So if you're looking for a pair of binoculars that will see detail into a dark timber right now, this time of the evening, make sure you check out the Alpine Teton binoculars. You'll be glad you did. Oh, here's some deer coming out right now. You know, good optics are a must for a hunter, particularly binoculars, not only during hunting season, but times like this when it's time to start scouting. But there's one thing you need to do when you get your binoculars that a lot of people don't realize. You need to set them up for yourself. Everybody's eyes are a little bit different. And here's how I do it. It's simple and easy. Just take the binoculars and just kind of grab good focus on an object. And I go and put my hand over the left lens. The diopter ring, which is on the right side, I will go ahead and adjust that until that right eye is in focus. Once it is, I take the hand off the other side, both eyes in focus, and you're ready to go. It's simple and easy, and it's a must that you do this before you go out and use them. Hi, I'm Rick White with Alpine Optics, and I want to talk to you today about the new Alpine Shasta Ridge binoculars. Now they're lighter than the older Shasta Ridges, new sleek design, fog-proof, waterproof, BAK4 prisms, phase-coated, and the lenses are multi-coated. Inexpensive pair of binoculars with great quality. So if you're looking to save a little money, but still put quality in your backpack, make sure you check out the Alpine Shasta Ridge binoculars. Good evening, everybody, and welcome to another episode of On the Hunt with Alpine Optics. I'm your host, Rick White, and we're a little bit late starting this evening. We've got a surprise guest coming up here in just a minute. And actually no special that I've gotten yet for the end of the show. So we may have
it's
something
the we do have it. Remember, we've got the 4K camera. I've got a good price on that. I think it's 80.
Oh, okay. Well,
$80 off or something like that.
Okay. Well, we'll have something for you by the end of the show. So sit back, relax, and we'll see you in 30 seconds. And welcome back to On the Hunt with Alpine Optics. Again, I'm your host, Rick White. And, we had a change of plans this evening. Brenda Valentine was actually scheduled to be on. And unfortunately, Brenda cannot make it tonight. Her nephew has passed away. His name was Chuck Beecham. He was 44 years old, and he died today of COVID. So our prayers go out to Brenda and his family as well. It's not a good time for her, but she'll be back. I think in a couple of weeks we'll have Brenda back. So again, our prayers go out to all the families there on Brenda's nephew. So he was 44 years old, and it's certainly a sad thing. But anyways, last moment we're trying to find some guests, and Mr. Old Reliable himself. What do I say about him? He's a turkey at heart, Mr. Wingbones Edwin Shirts. Edwin, how you doing this evening?
Oh no, he's on mute. I can't hear him at all. He's got his mic off.
Yep, he's on mute. There he is. How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing good, man.
I got to ask you, is this the first time you've ever done this show, or what do we got to, I got to call you and get a hammer out and knock you on the head a couple times?
Yeah. I got to get that figured out. That last minute that caught me off guard, and I had to run through the house, get set down. I'm like, whoa, how's my hair?
Well, in all seriousness,
have you named your chicken? Do you have a name for the chicken?
Do I have a name for the chicken? The dancing chicken.
No, the chicken. Look left.
Oh, him? I don't have a name for him. The dogs love him. He's a little stress reliever.
Well, I appreciate you jumping in. It was unfortunate news that Brenda gave me this afternoon, but our hearts are with her. And then I had Wayne Shaw actually coming on the show, but he had some computer issues up until about 2 minutes after 6. That's why we've got a little bit late start. I called Edwin. He's always my go-to guy. He's always there to jump in when we need some help. And we don't even know for sure what we're going to talk about tonight, but we're going to fill this half hour with some exciting things. So Edwin, tell me.
Chickens.
What's that, Paul? Chickens. We got chickens.
Chickens.
And of course we got Paul behind the scenes. And so, hey guys, if you have any questions at all, just fire out some questions tonight, and we'll try to answer them to the best of our ability. But Edwin, what do you got going on right now?
Well, Rick, I got some things going on with Through the Eyes of a Hunter. We're editing some hunts for the new DVD coming out called Just Hunting. We got some coyote hunts, we got some deer hunts, we got some turkey hunts, and I'm just trying to finalize that and get that thing ready so we can get it off to our authentication professional, and then get it back and get it out to the public so we can start showing off some of our mixed turkey hunts, so to speak.
Yeah, well, we do, and I may have mentioned this before, but we have at Through the Eyes of a Hunter a new DVD coming out now. I understand that DVDs aren't like they used to be, but we still do one. We're kind of old fashioned, Edwin and I, and we like to sit down and throw a DVD in the player and actually watch our hunts, and over and over again, or stop them in the middle, whatever. But we've got a new DVD coming out called Just Hunting. It's the first time we've done this. And And right now, I believe we have 6 deer hunts, 5 turkey hunts, and 4 predator hunts, all on one video. So we'd certainly like to hear your guys' opinions. You know, we get a lot of deer hunters that want to watch deer hunting only. Of course, we get a ton of turkey hunters that want to watch turkey hunting only. And you know, we don't really specialize in predator, but we do have some great predator hunters, Jimmy Estes and Waylon and Josh, and you know, some great stuff. But we decided to mix it all on one video. Now we're going to have our turkey hunting season 4, which will be out around Christmas time. So we're going to continue to do our turkey videos, but we just wanted to try and mix one video with multiple species and see how it went over. And we may do another one. So I know, Edwin, you've been working hard on it. I think you've got one hunt left to finish, and we'll have it ready. Chad Remington, another pro staffer of ours as well, we'll be sending that out to him. He kind of finalizes everything and authorizes it for us and puts chapters in it and all that. And when we get it back from him, we'll be ready to go. So
yeah, it's not like
go ahead. I'm sorry, Edwin. Go ahead.
It's not like I Dream of Jeannie where she just wiggles her nose and things happen. There's a lot of things in our mix that has to happen behind the scenes. You're right.
Yeah. And, you know, speaking of Chad, he also does a lot of marketing for Weeby Knives. If you guys are looking for like a knife to use for, just about anything, but great for skinning deer and caping deer, check out Weeby Knives. You really like them. So, Edwin, you know, I've already been to Kentucky. I had some success. You're going to be hunting here before too long. You got your deer spotted. You got your trail cams out.
Well, you know, I've been sitting here talking, Rick, and I haven't really told anybody what I want to do this year. Back in the day, before I even met you, Rick, in my early years of hunting, I hunted from the ground, standing against a tree, just me against the deer's nose. And I want to get back to my old elements this year and see if I still got what it takes to stand there against one of the most cautious creatures because of their sense of smell, and see if I can win that battle. And I'm going to try and get it on film too. So that's what I haven't really got a deer picked out, so to speak, but I hope to shoot a mature Iowa buck from the ground and film it all.
You know, scent elimination is one of my biggest, you know, things that I make sure that I do 100%. What do you do to be scent free? What do you like for scent elimination products?
I use that new product that you showed me here not too long ago, the scent elimination, the hunt.
Limishield?
Yeah, Limishield, yeah. And I'll tell you what, I've got it on my boots, my hunting clothes. I wash them, hang them to dry. I don't put them through the dryer. I hang them to dry and spray them while they're drying, after they're drying. And when I went out and set out some trail cameras, I actually was like 20 yards from some deer that I jumped up. So I think the scent elimination that we got in our midst right now is really good. Really good.
Well, that's good. What are some of your, I know you do a little hunting when season first comes in, which is the 1st of October here in Iowa. What tactics are you doing? What are you looking for in a tree stand location early in the season, maybe versus the rut or even late season? What are you looking for?
Right now, and you know, I'm a call maker. I love to call to the animals, but I don't recommend right now calling to the animals. They're in their season, they're in their pattern, their summer pattern. I'm going to look for travel corridors to and from bedding, to and from water, to and from food. Early in the mornings, they're coming out. They've been out in the fields all night eating. They want to go lay down, maybe get a drink of water, and then lay down and chew their cud for a while. And so I'm going to look for a route that's leading from food to bedding or water. And that's where I'm going to focus on in the mornings. Now, in the evenings, I'm going to reverse my tactics, and I'm going to try to find a travel corridor that's downwind of a hot trail leading to food, because they've been sitting all day. Now they want to refill their bellies. They're hungry. So a hot trail leading to or from one of those 3 sources will work well in early season. Now, here in Iowa, it works well.
Yeah. Now, do you take your chicken with you, or?
No, the chicken sits here and watches, make sure I'm swiping the mouse right.
So my tactic early season, where I hunt, I primarily hunt evenings. I generally don't hunt mornings, and the reason for that is the areas that I'm hunting are big food sources. You're going to hunt the food source, especially in the evening. Catch the deer coming from bed to food, and then in the morning you'd catch them going from food to bed. My issue is being able to get in between or around those food sources to get into an area without bumping them. And generally I can't do that. So I typically don't hunt mornings. And I do not overhunt early in the season in areas that I'm going to hunt come the rut. And I don't overhunt any particular stand. In fact, what I generally do in Iowa is I start hunting about the last week of October. I don't even go out unless I'm going to go out and harvest a doe or something like that. But everybody can't wait to get out, and it's a beautiful time of the year, the 1st of October. But don't overhunt your areas, and don't go in and bump your deer, because it will make it harder to hunt in the coming days. So,
Right.
Edwin, let's talk about the rut. Now, I'm a huge fanatic of calling deer during the rut, and I've had a ton of luck. There's a couple things I don't want to forget when I go hunting during the rut. Let's just say the end of October until Thanksgiving. Okay. And I don't want to forget my release. All right. Obviously I don't want to forget my bow and that kind of stuff, but I don't want to forget my release, because I've done that. But I also don't want to forget my grunt call. There's been several times that I've forgot my grunt call, and I might be halfway to the stand. I'll actually turn around. If I've got time, I'll actually go back and get my grunt call. It's that important to me. I've had so much luck over it. What about yourself?
Oh, I love to have a grunt call, a versatile grunt call. I want to be able to change up the sounds, like going from buck to doe if I want to. Early season, a fawn and fawn bleat, like a fawn in distress is good if you're trying to attract a doe. But when it comes to the rut, now I'm focusing on what's happening around me. If I see a lot of deer, bucks chasing does, I'm gonna focus on like tending grunts, because they're trying to tend these does. So a tending grunt might lure them off of that doe, thinking that there's another buck over here intruding. So I pay attention to what the animals are doing, and it dictates how I'm going to call on that particular time that I'm there.
Right. And like I said at the beginning of the show, we're just kind of filling in tonight and getting through. So
hey,
I'm
Rick,
gonna go and talk with the guy behind the scenes, Mr. Paul, and just ask him how he's doing this evening.
Hey, I'm doing okay. I've just come off of another possible quarantine with COVID, because the lady that I've seen, her 14, 13-year-old was sick. So I had to wait until they got their test. I had my stinking appendicitis as well. That was great. And I still got to do the show though. But you know what, Rick, have you ever heard of the brand Vixen?
Vixen. Yes, I have.
Now, are you very familiar with the products?
No, I'm really not.
Not really. Well, as of today or yesterday, it's official that Alpine and the parent company of Alpine and Bresser has now acquired the company Vixen.
Oh, well, good.
Nice.
So I didn't know if you guys were that familiar with it or not. I know they make rifle scopes. They also make telescopes, things like that. Anything mostly optics, things like that.
Right.
So
yeah, I don't know a lot about them. I've seen them. I've had them in my hands, but I guess I'll get to learn a lot more about them here soon.
Yeah. Right. Now, one of the things that I was doing when I was looking at the research for it, some of their spotting scope eyepieces are made in Japan. So that Japanese glass is some of the best glass in the world.
That's right. So, well, that's good. That's good to know. You said you had to quarantine, and I know you had COVID back a while ago. And of course, I had it last year as well. But Mike McDonald, who I was in Kentucky hunting just a week ago, he had gone through it, he and his wife, Alyssa. And so he had a little bit of a rough time. He had a couple of days that weren't so good, but the report is now he's doing much better. And so we're glad to hear that. And his wife, she's over it and she's doing fine. And the kids never never had any effects. So
it took
they're all
me
good.
almost 2 months to get over all the symptoms of the COVID when I had it, and my brother had the same issue. Are you still doing okay?
Me? Yeah. I mean, I'm doing good. Yeah, absolutely. And whether and doctors know more than I do. Of course, I'm not a doctor, but whether you're going to get the vaccine or not get the vaccine, all I will say is if you do get COVID, make sure you get a hold of your doctor. Don't let it get to a point that it's so bad it can't be taken care of. There's things that they can give you now and different drugs that seem to help. So don't sit back and let it get bad. And if you do think you're sick, just stay away from other people. I mean, just common sense would lead to that. But
I attempt to
certainly,
stay away from other people anyway, most of the time.
well, yeah. And unfortunately, I got to spend time with Edwin every now and then. So, but that's okay. Edwin and I
Hey,
what's that?
I'm stuck with me.
Now you had COVID, we're talking about COVID. You had COVID last year as well, but you had it pretty rough, if I remember right.
Yeah, I was on oxygen, man, and I was in my bed for 2 weeks on oxygen. And when I took the oxygen off just to go to the bathroom or take a shower and get cleaned up, it was hard to breathe. And I don't think if I had oxygen, I would have made it. So I feel very sorry and heartfelt for Mrs. Valentine's family right now. So, but and everybody I talked to that has caught this thing or been exposed to it or around it, it's affected everyone a little different. So I don't know any precautions. I guess just clean. Make sure you're very clean. If you touch something outdoors and you're unsure, wash your hands.
Yeah,
don't touch your face.
I didn't have it too rough, to be honest with you. Lost my sense of taste and smell, had a little cough, and I lost my energy. I really,
Right.
was tired at the end of the day, but I felt fairly well. But it does affect everybody differently. It is something serious, and just hopefully we get through this. It's just
Right.
the whole thing is just it's wearing me out, and I just hope we can get through this. And prayers go out to all the families that have been affected by it. So now you've been squirrel hunting. You were doing some squirrel hunting opening weekend, and so how'd that go?
Well, it went good. Opening weekend, we got about 10 squirrels. I didn't get any on film like I wanted to because them little rascals are fat and there's a lot of leaves in the trees right now. But I got a couple shots of some hunters shooting at the squirrels. We did pretty good. We got about 10 squirrels, and those weaving knives that you mentioned earlier, they worked really well skinning out our squirrels and opening them up and getting rid of all the entrails and that, get them ready to process them for the crock pot. But yeah, we had a good time squirrel hunting. It was a blast.
I got a question from the peanut gallery here. Growing up, I was always told that I shouldn't be hunting anything like squirrels or rabbits until it frosted, and that's of course down in Arkansas. And is that a myth, or is that something that actually should be followed, guys?
I've been told. I was talking with a guy at work the other day about this, and he said it's a myth. He said if a squirrel or a rabbit, and the myth, Paul, is don't eat a rabbit or anything like that until it frosts because they have worms.
Yeah.
And this guy was telling me, look, if the animal's going to have worms, it's going to have worms whether it's frosty or not.
That's what I thought.
And so I don't know. I've always lived by the myth. It's wait till that first heavy frost and then go after the rabbits. But the squirrels I've eaten in September and had no issues.
Yep. Hey, let me give a little shout out to a few people that are watching the show right now. John Dallas is on there, and Stanley Tanner's on there, and it looks like Bob, and I don't have my glasses on.
Becky's wanting to know if Edwin's going to shoot his muzzleloader on her place, I think.
Yeah, I think
I'm not quite sure what that's about.
Well, I don't like to let all my cats out of the bag, but I'm talking with Miss Becky Whitaker and her husband Bruce about possibly getting down there and doing a late muzzleloader hunt. I've never done that before. I filmed Rick on a late muzzle loader hunt a couple years ago. It was 45 below zero. What a great time we had, and Becky's got a great property. And if I can figure out somehow to leave a little food source like Rick had that time, boy, I'll tell you what, it should be exciting. I can't wait. Becky is such a great, wonderful person. I love her to death.
She is. Well, let me, Mike DiGiovanni's on there. Ron Toth is on there tonight. And looks like Jeff Hepting's on there. So says he loves your shirt, Edwin. He loves your shirt. So,
Hey,
but anyway, those of you that are on, we certainly appreciate the patronage. And Paul, I know we've got a few minutes left, but you know about tonight's special. Now, I know about the item. I'm just not sure of the pricing, but you can jump in here in a minute, Paul. But this is the Action 4K, the 4K action camera. And I don't know, you got yours right there, Edwin?
That's okay. I don't have it right next to me. I do have it. It's
mine's actually in my deer vest, but I was just using it this last week. But it's a 4K action camera that is Bluetooth to a remote. If you want to use it, it'll fit on your wrist. It's got the off and on video, and also takes photos, and I believe 30 megapixel photos. So the quality is really impeccable. In the case, it's waterproof down to 100 feet, I believe. But the nice thing about it is when it's not in the case, it's waterproof down to 15 feet, which means that you can set it out in the rain and you don't have to worry about it. And it Wi-Fi's to your smartphone. Now that's the feature I really like, because I can turn it on. I can not only, hit record and everything you got to do with it, but I can watch what I'm recording, and I can play them back and watch what I have recorded. If you want to pass the time away while you're sitting in the stand, you can go back and watch some of your stuff. I was fishing out in Lake Erie just before I went to Kentucky deer hunting, and we used the action camera on some pretty neat things. We put it out in the water on a board, and it was pretty cool stuff. And sometime we'll get Paul to. I know I jumped in on this with Paul, but he probably doesn't have it loaded. But we'll play it sometime. It's pretty neat stuff. But anyway, it's the 4K action camera.
Are you fishing? Is that what you're saying? You want me to show like you fishing? Is that what it is?
Well, we were just running it behind the boat to show some different things. So, but what's the pricing on that, Paul?
It's playing on that. Your fishing stuff is playing, by the way.
Oh, it is. Okay. Well,
it's just the boat. This is the Alpine Shasta Ridge Series 4K Wi-Fi HD action camera. It is, according to Mr. Mark, who is the know-all, end-all man about the. Where did I put the thing? There it is. He has it at. When you use the code On The Hunt, you're going to save $80 on this camera. It's an $80 savings, which is actually really, really good. It's a decent camera. Now I'm a camera guy, and I enjoy, knowing my cameras. And this is a decent camera. It really isn't bad.
I mean, look at that footage. Look at that footage of it out there. It's just cool.
I've down-res that to 1080. So it's not in 4K. I've actually 720. I think actually is what it is.
Yeah, so you can record in 720 or 1080 or 4K. This was recorded in 4K, I believe, 30 frames per second. So there's so many different settings on it, but it's a
I put it into the video processor.
In your blind or in your tree.
I put it into the video processor and turned it into a 720p just so I could email it around. So that's, if there's any pixelation going on, it's because I did that to it afterwards. Hey, Edwin.
Yes, sir.
Have you used the camera yet?
I just got it. I just received it the other day, and I haven't been out to use it yet, but I'm looking at all the features in it, and I'm listening to what Rick did. I have some ideas about the waterproof that I want to try. I want to maybe stick it on a pole under the boat while we're fishing and maybe catch the fish swimming around in front of the camera. I want to try and experiment with it like that. I want to see stuff like that.
That's exactly what I've been trying to do it. I just need somebody with a boat. If you're around Northwest Arkansas and you got a boat, come find me. I need it, especially before the first frost, because I might want to go swimming.
Edwin, I think you have an inner tube. Wouldn't that work?
Yeah, it's got the feet pedals in it and everything.
I have that weekend. My cat's getting married. I'm sorry.
Well, maybe Edwin will show up with his chicken.
So, yeah, I have my chicken. Here he is.
So You know, guys, right, in all seriousness, right now is a great time. I mean, deer season's around the corner. You should probably be out, you know, shooting some arrows, making sure your bow's still tuned. The broadheads, if you're shooting what you shot last year, they're still shooting fine. If you're shooting new ones, for instance, make sure they're shooting fine. Make sure you've got enough arrows, your fletching's good. I mean, there's just so many little things that you can do, because there's nothing worse than grabbing your bow for that first day of season and you pull it out and you're like, oh my gosh, where's this and where's that and what happened here, and you know, my sight's bent or whatever it might be, or my string's starting to stray a little bit. So get your pro shop, have all your equipment checked out. Make sure that you're not getting in a tree stand without something like a hunter safety system. And I like the lifelines. I put them in all my trees now. So when I'm climbing up, it's got a carabiner clip and I just slide it up the line. I can't fall to the ground. If I slip off the stand while I'm climbing or while I'm in the stand, I'm not going to fall. And I know so many people that have. I know there's Wayne. Wayne, how are you doing?
Wayne Shaw.
Hey, can you hear me?
We got you.
Can you hear me?
Yeah,
Yes,
we can
sir.
hear you. And
Okay.
I can hear you.
Here's the
jump
problem. It's on my laptop. It wasn't on my regular computer.
Oh, okay. Well, I tell you what we'll do, because we're about out of time. But Wayne, we're gonna get you on not next week and not the week after, but how about 3 weeks from now? We'll have you on. Would that work for you?
Yeah, you remind me I gotta have my laptop.
We'll do that. We'll do that.
If you're going into Florida to hunt, make sure the first thing you're gonna run into is mosquitoes.
Okay. Well, we're gonna talk about all that, but
I run into mosquitoes every day with my car as I'm going home.
Yeah.
so, but anyways, hey, listen, guys, it's 6:30 and we're gonna end things, but it's good that you popped on, Wayne, and it's good that we know you got everything fixed and worked out. And
Yeah, I'm sorry I'm not high tech and messed everything up.
No,
You didn't mess anything up. It's quite all right.
You're good. And Edwin, thank you for jumping in and filling in
Yes,
for
sir.
Wayne. And Wayne, I'll talk to you in the next couple of days. Edwin, the same. And Paul, will don't forget the special, the 4K action camera, I believe through Sunday at midnight. But anyways, those of you that are getting ready to move into the woods here before long, I wish you the best of luck and hunt safe. And we'll see you next week. We have Matt Moret with the Pennsylvania DNR coming on,
Nice.
and he's going to talk about CWD and what they're doing to try to head that off. So there's lots of things going on in that realm. So, but for now, we appreciate you all coming along with us. Thanks for watching On the Hunt with Alpine Optics, and we'll see you next Wednesday. Good night, everybody. All right, this time we're going to show you how to sight in the Alpine Apex scope. Now Ryan's got his AR-10 and he's got the Alpine Apex 4.5 by 27. Now he also has the sunshade and the honeycomb on it, and it comes with the scope. And what it does is it filters out all this sunlight that we're dealing with here today. So again, your gun would already be bore sighted like this one is. Take the first shot and then we'll show you how to make the adjustments after that shot. All right, so as I said, the next step was to bring the crosshairs down to the bullet. But before we do that, we're gonna take the caps off and we're gonna pull the turrets off, okay? And there's 3 set screws in there that we're gonna loosen up. We're gonna go ahead and make those adjustments, get everything sighted in, and when we finalize the sight in, we're gonna tighten those set screws, put the turret back so we have a 0 position on it, and then we'll put the caps back on and we're good to go. The next step now is Ryan's gonna hold the bullseye on the red dot, and I'm gonna make adjustments to bring the crosshairs down and over to the bullet. And that's what we're gonna do right now. Pretty close, aren't we?
Yeah, I just heard you.
Right? I gotta go to the left. It's gotta go left, right? Or not? Yeah, I gotta go to the left. Are you on?
Yep.
Okay, so I think this is right.
Good.
And I gotta go down just a little.
Yeah. Other way.
Other way.
Just the side of that red, but I pulled.
So we can pretty much assume that we're on, you think?
Yeah, I mean, it's in the red.
All right, that's all it takes. 3 shots, and we're in the red.